You don't get to ask the questions, I do.
Happy birthday.
Bad move, you stupid bitch.
Your grandfather must be
Oh my God, stop, Jodi! I have not seen this trial before. I've been very excited to watch it for a while, but I couldn't watch it live on Twitch. So I'm just gonna be hard chilling. Now, my understanding of the Jodi Arias trial is that her defense team went all out. They made her look very sweet. They made her look very innocent. They, spun up this whole story of unrequited love. They tried to say that Travis Alexander was abusing her, but they did not expect the prosecutor in this case. He made this whole case about sex to basically dispel the whole nice, sweet Christian girl, or not Christian, nice, sweet Mormon girl image that Jodi Arias was trying to portray. And he flipped this shit on its head.
Mr. Martinez.
Here it comes, Mr. Martinez. He's the one they didn't expect.
The person who done it, the person who committed this killing, sits in court today. It's the defendant, Jodi Ann Arias. And the person that she done it to is an individual by the name of Travis Victor Alexander, a former boyfriend of hers, an individual that she was in love with.
He's selling it.
An individual that was a good man.
Selling
An
it.
individual that was one of the greatest blessings in her life.
She said that?
And this love, well, she rewarded that love for Travis Victor Alexander by sticking a knife in his chest. And he was a good man, according to her. And with regard to being a good man, well, she slit his throat as a reward for being a good man.
Is it just me? His delivery is really good. Like, it's not like Julie, like passionate, like in your face kind of, but I'm eating up every single word that he's saying. Oh my God, how is her defense team gonna follow up on this?
Well, she knocked the blessings out of him by putting a bullet in his head during one event that occurred on June 4th of 2008. Travis Alexander had the misfortune of meeting up with the defendant in Las Vegas, Nevada at the MGM Grand back in September of 2006.
By the way, guys, this is why I said we'll just listen to the opening statements because he's going to tell you pretty much everything. And this is true. This is exactly how they met. Jodi was just at a convention. Travis was there to sell some stuff. She was super hot. He started bringing her around, and it was one of those really fast whirlwind romances. But if you guys have ever been in a situation where you guys kind of fell into it or fell in love pretty quickly, it never lasts.
Initially, he was mostly interested in converting her to the Mormon faith.
I gotta say this too. Jodi Arias converted to Mormonism to pull Travis in even further. This was an incredibly manipulative tactic because Jodi never practiced Mormonism or cared about it because she used sex to keep Travis around for the longest time. And for Travis, he didn't want all of this because he did, like, he wanted to sleep with Jodi. Now, however, he would always, afterwards, he would feel great remorse because he truly was a Mormon. He really, really was. And to him, this sex they were having was a huge sin. She wasn't even part of the same religion. So the fact that Jodi was out here sucking Travis off, but then at the same time, trying to pretend like she was Mormon, it was just all manipulation. And that's exactly who she is. It's not like it's a one-off and she just did it once. Like, that's a huge manipulative thing to do. Is this real? What do you mean? Is what real? Break. You're in here all the time. What do you mean? Am I real?
Got a hold of Mr. Alexander's phone, his cellular telephone, and she wanted to see what was in there. Couldn't stop herself from doing that, and so she goes and looks at his cell phone in June of 2007.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Do you look at the phone? Do you? Okay. If you were in a relationship with somebody and you'd been dating for 2 years and you had suspicions that they were cheating, pretty strong ones too. 1 in the chat if you're a phone looker, like, I just need to know. 2 in the chat if you're like, no. Nope, we'll figure it out. When it's time for me to know, I will know. I'm a 2. I'm like, what is God's plan? I must not interfere. I'll keep the phone right here. Babe, what do you want for dinner? Please don't cheat on me.
At that point, they break up. That's June 29th of 2007. And remember, at that time, she's still living in Southern California in the Palm Spring area. And so After they broke up, you would expect that perhaps the emails would end, you would expect that perhaps the text messages would end, and maybe that the calls would attenuate. But just the opposite happens. Because instead of staying there in Southern California, or perhaps moving to where she was originally from, which is Wairika, California, which is on the Oregon-California border, instead of going there after this breakup in June of 2007, what does the defendant do?
After Travis ended things with Jodi, she moved closer to him. Does somebody ever do something that is just so far away from your own personal morals that you just like feel immediate stress? I cannot imagine being broken up with and then thinking I'm just casually gonna move 8 hours away from where I currently live, but like closer to him. Honey, you're insane. Like, you're insane.
But she does move.
No, BOZE,
to an
it's
area
true
that's
love.
very-
No, this is love. This is love Goldberg, okay?
They continue the sexual liaisons because she moved here. Well, this continues on for some time, but Mr. Alexander, by this point, appears to be ready to move on, or at least he appears to be ready to date other people. And in fact, he starts dating somebody by the name of Lisa Andrews, and there may have been others that he started to date. But at that point, there was no relationship between him and the defendant other than this constant contact and this sexual relationship between the two.
Y'all gotta watch out for these women to be sitting out here just playing cool girl all the time. Like, y'all ever been in a situation where the actions just don't match how they're acting? Like, oh, yeah, it's cool. Let's just have sex. Let's just have casual sex. Like, it's no big deal.
I'm moving next door.
Hey, yeah, I'm just here to whatever. Like, that's not a big, I don't want to date you, whatever.
I'm here coming in through the doggy door.
Like, look at the signs. Look at the signs. Have a sip, sir. You
Basically,
I'm obsessed with him.
Before that,
I just want you guys to know that. I'm obsessed with this man.
then-
Wait, dude, I don't have, wait, oh, this is so long. I was gonna say, I only have a little bit before I get the broom. I'm like, how much can we get through? He's giving like a whole lot of backstory, which is great. I do want all of this. Okay, so I'm gonna fill in some blanks here really quick. Can't wait to watch him. I know. That's what I want to get to. I want to get to the cross examination because love this guy's opening statement, but I just really want to see him just mop the floor with Jodi Arias. The way essentially that Jodi Arias was caught was she drove up to Travis Alexander's house on this day, and it was right before he was supposed to go on a trip with another woman. And Jodi turned her cell phone off when she was driving to Travis's house. She gets there, oh, hi, just popping in, whatever. And at one point, Travis is in the shower. And Jodi's taking some pictures of him while he's in the shower. We're actually about to look at that in a second. And then, while she's taking the photos, there's more photos, and it's the moment where she kills Travis. She's like taking pictures of him to make it seem calm, and then she has the knife and the gun. And so after this, Jodi takes the camera and puts it in a washing machine. And I don't even think she turned it on. Maybe she did. Maybe it had water in it, something like that. Well, when the investigators got to the scene, they pulled out the camera and the SD card was perfectly intact and ripe for pickings. Yes, she has a picture of the actual moment he's dead. Yes, that's why we haven't watched this trial yet, because there's a lot of pictures of him murdered, but I can show you guys this one. Okay, this is a reenactment. I'm not sure if they use this for court or if they just used it in general. Before Travis Alexander was murdered on June 4th, a series of pictures were taken by Jodi Arias while Travis was in the shower. This video attempts to show the relative position of the camera to Travis. It's very spooky. So this is the reenactment, but those are the actual photos. Jodi took all of those. Looks forced. That's interesting. He doesn't look like he's like in danger or anything. You know what I mean? Like, do you guys get that? Like, it said something in the beginning like, oh, like maybe he was forced or under some kind of control at this point. This is like the iconic photo. Bo, This is what his face looks like in the moment, you know? Like, I don't know. It's very interesting. But this is the actual photo. This is the very last photo. So people feel like this is the moment where Jodi essentially took out the knife and kind of threw the camera up, and she began to stab him and slit his throat. And after this, there are no more pictures of Travis Alexander. You guys want to check out how the defense tries to defend Jodi? Let's do that. Let's see what her team has in store for us. Now, if you had heard that opening statement, 1 in the chat if you had been like, between that video and everything that man said, she did it, boom, done, roasted. 2 in the chat if you're like, no. I need to hear the other side. Look, look, his presentation made a lot of sense to me. Also, I know way too much about the case, but I'd be a hard one. But let's see what she says to get Jodi Arias out of this pickle.
Jodi Arias killed Travis Alexander. There is no question about it.
Okay.
The $1 million question is what would have forced her to do it. Taken of Travis in the shower. In just under 2 minutes, to the picture of Travis's body. You can see the foot in the front with his head and his shoulders, and blood clearly on his shoulders. In just those 2 minutes, Jodi had to make a choice. She would either live or she would die.
What?
Jodi did not always tell the truth about what happened that night.
What?
She was scared. Scared about what had happened and scared about what she had done.
Go.
She had absolutely no experience with police interrogation before.
Oh, okay.
And so when they talked to her,
Is that why she was running around dancing, singing Mary Had a Little Lamb in the interrogation room? Oh my God, dude. Guys, rate this defense on a scale of 1 to 10.
Travis and Jodi met in September of 2006. At that time, Jodi was in a relationship, a
Y'all said
long-term
0.
relationship with Daryl Brewer.
I feel like, okay, this is just my thought on it. I think that a lot of times they start out like the...
Jodi Arias killed Travis Alexander.
Okay, put her in jail. I think that what they try to do there is like get the most shocking stuff out of the way first. They're like, let me just go ahead and say it, and now I'm going to talk around it after that. Personally, for me, like, that tactic does not work on me at all. Like, no, just start with her birthday or something. I don't know. Yeah, dude, this lady's about to, oh, come on. Look at this. Look at this picture. Travis baptizes Jodi. This man looks like he's being held hostage. And Jodi is so fine. She's crazy. Jodi looks like she got no makeup on here, freshly bleached blonde hair. She was put in work, you know, and it probably was really hitting like her ego too, that Travis wasn't absolutely head over heels for her. All right, I want to see some cross-examination because this lady's just about to bullshit us for a minute. Let's get to the good boys. Okay, this video is called The Jodi Arias Trial Craziest Moments.
I kicked a dog once. It's these funky movies where it's like this affected this, which affected this, which affected this. If he had never done this.
I know if you had never met him, you'd probably still be alive.
That's true.
Yeah, that's because you killed him.
No.
Jodi, you did.
I did not.
Jodi.
If you hadn't met him, he'd still be alive.
This is a really trivial question, and it's gonna reveal how shallow I am.
She about to lie.
But before they book me, can I clean myself up a little bit?
You're gonna be taken the way you are.
That'd be great.
Oh, God.
Never put my makeup on in front of a total stranger, but that's okay. You're not that much of a stranger.
Dude, this is so fake. That is the fakest thing I've, like, ever heard. I've never put my makeup on in front of a total stranger, but you're not a total stranger. Like, that sentence has, like, no f***ing substance other than to flirt or try to make somebody like you. Like, come on, Jodi. I'm cringing.
It's been like weeks since I put makeup on. I'm glad to see this is waterproof. I don't plan to cry, but, you know, I probably won't. Whatever you want to change, or if you don't think something looks right, just let me know. I'll adjust it. I guess if I start getting shiny, then
She wants people to like
Could you do me a
her.
favor and just hold that?
She likes to be liked.
Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angel voices. Oh, night divine. Oh, night when Christ was born. Well, I appreciate your vote. Thank you very much.
Somebody in chat earlier said vapid. That is the best descriptor for Jodi Arias. There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing, you know? Like, look, guys, if you do this for a minute, there's a thing inside your head and it's moving back and forth. You may not like hear it right now, but if it wasn't there, you would really notice the difference. Okay, there's nothing going on here for Jodi. There is nothing. She has no personality, no individualism. Her goal is just to make the people around her like her. And when they don't like her as much as she wants them to, then she's just gonna go into a panic. He getting a bag of chips? No.
And you said that it was 45 seconds, right?
Yes.
Did that take 45 seconds, sir?
What?
I'm gonna object. That's evidence that was just dropped on the floor.
More like a circle if you want to get into geometry.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to that. So you guys saw that photo sequence a second ago. I guess somebody's trying to say that, oh, this must have all happened in 45 seconds. And he just fucking drops the camera and said, did that take 45 seconds? Yo, let's rewind that motherfucking clip.
With regard to this particular camera, and you said that it was 45 seconds, right?
Yes.
Did that take 45 seconds, sir?
I'm gonna object. That's evidence that was just dropped on the floor.
More like a circle if you want to get into geometry.
I'm asking you who's making the money, aren't I?
The people who work the hardest.
Sustained.
Who we've talked about 2 times. What about the 3rd time?
Well, let's continue on with that time. I
Sir,
met her
I'm
several.
asking you when you met her the 3rd time. You don't get to ask the questions, I do. So when was the 3rd time you met her? During
Look at him. He's not answering the question, motherfucker.
Continue.
Sir, I asked you a question. Am I asking you about the evening?
No.
Somebody else after
The
this particular
dominance, the
murder
power.
happened, right?
Yep. Pardon? I didn't hear your objection.
Objection as to him referring to it as murder.
What? What else is it?
I'll say kill.
Objection to calling it murder? What are we gonna? What does she want to call it? An accident? He might be taking Julie's crown. I like the power, dominance, assertion. His ability to make people do things is just very funny.
But it's their speeches. I think they use the term entertainment because it's entertaining training. Do you know what I'm saying? It's entertaining.
She's still trying to do the whole
training,
personable
I guess you could
thing.
say. He was saying that my brother was a.
Oh my god! Oh no! Why would she? What the? Dude, you're trying to say that Travis was just. This is what people do after a murder. Also, sorry you guys had to hear that. They try so hard to discredit the person that they killed. I don't think he even said that shit. Are you kidding? And then also, Jodi, if he said something as horrible like that to your fucking brother, why are you still dating him? Why are you moving closer to him? Like, are you high? Is she okay? Wait, it gets worse? Wait, what do you mean it gets worse? Oh, well, yeah, she does claim he's a pedophile. I just don't want her to say anything.
He was named after my grandfather, and he said, "Your grandfather must be."
Oh my God! Stop, Jodi! Oh my God! I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I think like N-word is more like a TOS. It's just I don't like that in general. But I apologize because this is supposed to be scrubbed. This is definitely supposed to be scrubbed. I just don't want you guys to hear anything that is like not that is like it's definitely jarring. I apologize.
Happy birthday to you. And every time I scratch my nail down someone else's back, I hope you feel it. Well, can you feel it?
I'm sorry.
He's asking for themes.
No need to apologize to him, Jodi.
Oh, he's trying to
gonna
pick
object
up
to
the
the
way that
fence.
Juan runs the courtroom. Okay.
Did you like it when he called you a three-hole wonder?
No.
Oh, sorry. For you guys that didn't catch that, for clarity, 3-hole wonder. 3.
Picture of your dumb sister. Angela, correct? And that's a picture of you, correct?
Yes.
Right here. And the other one is a picture of your dumb sister, Angela, correct?
That's my sister. She's not dumb.
But I honestly think, talking about Angela, she's a little bit dumb. You said that, right?
Yes, I called her dumb and stupid.
Did I ask you whether or not you called her stupid, ma'am?
No.
I asked you whether or not you called her dumb, right?
Yes.
Place of semantics.
So you can tell us, for example, what kind of coffee you bought at Starbucks back on June 3rd of 2008, but you can't tell us what you said yesterday or the day before?
I always got the same drink at Starbucks.
And he was there with the female, though. You were able to see her face, though, right?
Yes, sort of.
Well, yes or sort of means two different things. Yes or no. Were you able to see her face or not?
Part of it was shadowed from the
Yes,
TV
no,
behind
ma'am.
her, so I
Ma'am,
saw part of it.
Judge, she's not answering my question, if you can instruct.
Bring the
Ms. Arias,
reinforcements.
listen carefully to the question and answer only the question you are asked.
Okay.
You may continue.
Could you see her face? Yes or no?
Part of it.
No,
Bubbles.
that's
That's on top of.
Oh, I love the braids.
I know those are hot.
That's your voice, right?
Yes, and Travis's.
Did I ask you if that was Travis's voice, ma'am?
Bro, he.
You worked at Mimi's Cafe, right?
Yes.
You had been working that day, right?
Yes.
Your shift was over, right?
Yes.
What time did your shift start?
It varied.
That day. What time did your shift start?
In the morning.
What time?
Sometime in the morning.
Your problems with your memory, is it of recent vintage?
Define recent.
Oh my god.
I don't know, since you started testifying.
I am
No, it
fucking
goes
crying.
back.
How long far back does it go?
I don't even know if I'd call it a problem.
Dude, this is actually this is a pretty good tactic here because to me the first layer of this is Jodi sitting here and being like, I don't know what happened, nothing ever happened, I don't know, because that's what her attorneys told her to say, right? But that's the only tool she has. Now, if this prosecutor can come in and realize that there's a great angle in destroying her credibility by really showing how she says I don't know to like everything, he can play the fuck out of her and show the jury that she's gonna say I don't know towards like really scary questions that she doesn't know their use without Jodi even realizing what's going on, because she's just following her attorney's instructions and then he's just playing the fuck out of her.
Suck damn fiddle.
Oh, and I love that. Play her.
How far back what goes?
We're talking about your memory problem, right?
I don't know that I'd really call it a problem.
Okay.
I
Is
just
it?
have,
She's
I
so
don't
smart.
remember
I don't know, I
every
call it
single
a
thing
problem.
that's
Well, it is right now,
happening.
bitch.
Your memory issues. We're talking about those, right?
I wouldn't even call them issues, but okay, my memory.
Well, you don't want to call them problems, right?
No, I don't want to call
You don't want to call them issues, right?
I don't know. I really
Right?
don't.
You don't want to call them issues. You just told me that, right?
I didn't say I don't want to.
All right. So can we call them issues then?
Okay.
What factors influence your having a memory problem?
I love this.
Usually when men like you are screaming at me or grilling me, or someone like Travis doing
Okay,
that's
Jodi, bad move, you stupid bitch. Like, you just showed everyone that he's getting under your skin. Like, come on. How are you gonna sit here and play nice, sweet, innocent girl, but then you gonna make a comment like that? I can't!
This is so good though.
So you're saying that it's basically what you're saying is Mr. Martinez's fault that you can't remember things that are going on.
It's not your fault.
I'm not saying that.
She just
You're
said it.
saying that, isn't it?
No, I'm not saying that.
You just said that.
Is
You
there
said when men
something
like you were
about
screaming in
a
my...
certain decibel of the voice that creates problems?
Decibel, tone, content, sort of a combination of those factors.
What are you trying to say?
Am I allowed to tell you what I'm trying to say?
What is this music?
He is gay and he was acting dramatic.
Huh?
What? Okay.
Other than you, who would be sure about your statements?
God?
Well, God's not here. We can't subpoena him, right?
I don't think so.
Hey everyone, it's your boy, Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to take a moment to say I do not know this bitch. Well, I do know her. I mean, I know all of you, but I don't know her, and I'd very much like it if she kept my name out of her mouth. Also, if she could never sing again, that would be great.
Do you have problems with your memory?
Occasionally.
You didn't seem to have any problems on direct examination when you were talking to us about all the sexual exploits with Mr. Alexander, did you?
I did have problems.
You regaled us for days on end about his exploits, didn't you?
I wouldn't say regaled.
Okay, you told us about it for days on end, didn't you?
I just answered the questions I
Yes
was
or
asked.
no? You told us. When the question was posed, you told us, didn't you?
To the best of my recollection.
Is anybody saying that you didn't do it to the best of your recollection?
You're implying that?
Ma'am, isn't it true that
See, it's little comments like that you're implying it. That's real Jodi. That's what she's really thinking, what she's really saying.
Well, isn't it true that you had a great memory when you were on direct examination with regard to issues involving Mr. Alexander's sexual exploits?
Objection, I'm going to ask and answer.
That wasn't my goal. So,
Well, was your goal to go to prison?
not a physical prison on Earth, no.
Oh, shit. Peter, turn the lights off. Make her think we're not home.
It wasn't a goal of mine, I can say.
And in fact, that was something that you were trying to avoid, right?
I don't know. I was trying to kill myself, I think.
Ma'am, and that what you did then is you took a razor, right?
Yes.
And that you cut yourself, right?
It was a nick.
It was a nick. And because it stung so much, that you said, nah, this is not the way for me to go, right?
I didn't say that.
You said it stung and that's why you stopped. Isn't that what your direct testimony was?
That night, yes.
Right. And that's the night that I'm talking to you about, right?
Yes.
I'm not talking to you about any other night, am I?
It sounded like you were.
No?
Dude,
just to be clear, I'm not talking about any other night, am I? Do you understand that?
Okay, I understand that.
And you nicked yourself and it hurt, right?
Yes.
And I think the word that you used, stung, right?
Yes.
To use your standard, ma'am, of how you stopped because it stung. Can you imagine how much it must have hurt Mr. Alexander when you stuck that knife right into his chest? That really must have hurt, right?
Argumentative.
My God. No, let it out, brother. Say it again. Say it again.
If he's an afterthought, that means the primary thought that you had when you left Wairika back on June 2nd was to see Travis Alexander then.
Jodi Arias attempted to kill herself so that she could get sympathy, made some kind of nick on her wrist. Per her own words, I'm not minimizing an attempt. This seems like it's false. She makes a nick on her arm, but then later, to victimize herself, but then later slits the throat of a man she claims she loved, stabbed him, and then shot him. Once again, this kind of connects to that story I was telling you guys earlier. It's about preservation of the ego. It's here's this person that is doing something to me that I can't control, these emotions, these things that I'm feeling. And it's like, well, if I kill this thing, then I can hold my ego together. But it's our responsibility to hold it together. It's ours. You can't just kill things in your environment and not work on yourself. Like, this is just crazy.
And it doesn't say anything there that he backhanded you, does it?
No, of course not.
Well, why not, of course? You were free to write it down, right?
Yeah, but I would never do that.
I'm not asking if you would have done it, ma'am. Isn't it true that there's nothing there that says about that?
No, of course not.
You keep saying, of course not. You were free to do it, weren't you?
Yeah, but I wouldn't have.
But you didn't do it,
Oh,
right?
the you know me defense.
No, of course not.
Very soft kisses, right?
That's right.
Doesn't talk about anything with the backhand, does it?
Dude,
Of course not.
Jodi getting on this stand was a fucking mistake. Like, they should be looking at, like, a prosecutor's track record, and they should have known that homeboy was not gonna let her slide. Like, Jodi thinks that she's so fake, she's so manipulative, that she really thought that getting up on the court, like, getting up on the stand was going to help her. That's why I said she never expected to run into homeboy. If there was any other prosecutor, I think Jodi Arias would have walked free. Like, what do you guys think? It's him. He put her in jail.
They were in his text messages.
Who's that?
They were in his text messages.
In his text messages to you, he said, I hit the door?
No.
In his text messages to who, then?
Oh, I didn't say hit the door. I meant referencing that event.
I'm talking about hitting the door. we having
What
problems
text
communicating
messages,
here? I'm talking about
Jodi?
hitting the
Yes.
door. He did tell that to somebody?
No, yes, we're having problems communicating
Did he tell somebody about it? Yes or no?
about hitting the door.
The door, yes,
frame.
that's what we're talking about.
Because he didn't hit the door downstairs, he hit the door frame. The door was open.
Jodi had a little history of also going through Travis's phone and going through text messages. And a lot of the interviews with interrogators, Jodi did this thing where, and she even does it now to this day, a lot of people in the prison don't like her because she's always flirting with the guards. She still does it to this day. We saw Casey Anthony's interrogation too. It's on the JCS channel if you haven't seen it. Casey and Jodi both flirted with interrogators, flirted with whoever they could to kind of try to get people on their side. And in her interrogations, she would try to like make the man sympathize with her over like, oh, Travis was a bad guy. He was cheating on me and I had no choice but to look through his phone. She told everybody she was going through his shit and now she want to act like it didn't happen.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about the incident.
Right, and what specifically of the incident are we talking about?
I'm not sure.
The incident? Is this why they were saying we can't call it a murder either? The incident? Imagine you get, I cannot say this enough, shot, stabbed, and your throat slashed by a woman that claims that she likes you, and then she started calling it the incident. Bitch, I'm about to rise up from this incident.
Were you going to put up with what we just talked about? Are you having problems understanding again what's going on?
Sometimes, because you go in circles.
And you were
She
very
really
offended
tried to
by
roast
that,
him.
right?
Yeah, offended would be accurate.
Right? And you were so offended that you still decided to go on vacation with him, though, right?
That wasn't why.
Well, no, you were very offended. You just told us that, right?
Jodi never, dude, I talk about this all the time. Jodi was out here trying to play cool girl. You know, I had a friend recently that went through a relationship. It was like a 3 or 4 year relationship. And like when they finally broke up, she just exploded with all this. Why didn't you want to move in with me? We could have gotten married. You didn't want to have kids. And he's like, whoa, I didn't even know. Like, I mean, sure, because we dated, like that should be the course of it. But the anger that she had was absolutely insane. And I explained to him, she was playing cool girl the whole time. She thought that if she just like was nice and sweet and went along with everything that you said, that eventually her prize would come to her and she could just be chill. But that's not how she ever felt, ever. And Jodi is clearly doing the same shit. And that is so evident to me in the fact that she stabbed him so many times. It's like releasing all of that internalized anger that she never communicated of how she really felt, dude. Like every single stab for her is like I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, like just releasing everything. And you should just talk about it. How embarrassing is this? How fucking embarrassing is this that you can't control yourself to just go away for a few weeks, for a few months or something like that, and you let it culminate into this? Not only did you take the life of somebody else, but you've ruined your own. And this is fucking embarrassing.
How is it that you are not remembering what you're saying?
Because you're making my brain scramble.
If I were him, if I were Juan in the situation, he can start to pick up now because she's made enough jabs. That's almost like not the amount of jabs that she's been making are like pretty fucking wild. He could be paying attention to what clearly triggers her and then just preying on that so that the jury can see who she really is. Like, she's given away a whole lot by even being responsive to that.
Well, you're saying it's the prosecutor that's asking you the questions and that's creating a problem for you, right?
That's not what I said.
Well, you said it's the way you're posing the questions. You just said that, right?
I don't know.
You don't know what you just said, ma'am?
You just said it.
I don't know.
Didn't it just happen?
It just happened.
Yes.
So how is it that if it just happened, you can't even remember what you just said?
I think I'm more focused on your posture and your tone and your anger, so it's hard to process the question.
So
Yeah,
the
can you
answer
fucking kill
is,
somebody,
it's
Jodi?
again the prosecutor's fault because you perceive him
Look
to
at this
be
lady
angry,
back
right?
here. She about to get
It's
out of her
not your
chair.
fault.
Well, is somebody asking you whose fault it is?
You did.
Well, you seem to be pointing.
She literally just said, it's your posture, it's your tone, it's your volume, and then in the same breath said, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Can you imagine dating somebody like this? No
The
wonder
reason
Travis
that you
did not
can't
want
be
anything to
effective
do
on
with
the
her.
witness
He
stand
said,
is
hey,
because
bitch, leave
somebody
at 6
is asking you
a.m.
questions in a way you don't like.
I think that was a compound question. I don't have a problem answering your question if I remember the answer.
So, but you just told us that you're having problems answering the question because of the prosecutor's posture. Didn't you tell us that?
That's not the direct reason, but that's a trigger.
Well, that's what you told us just now, right?
Something to that effect.
Right. And so, would you like it if I stood over here, like your counsel was asking you the questions? Would that make you feel more comfortable? Would it make you feel...
Roasted the fuck out of them. He said, you want me to stand over here and be nice like your counsel? Look at her face when he says that shit.
Like your counsel was asking you the questions, would that make you feel more comfortable?
Yes, Your Honor, improper comment on counsel.
Sustained.
Also, can I just say this? Like, especially because I know this is gonna end up on YouTube later. Is some people were like, why is BOZE so like bouncing around and everything and so high energy during this video? I don't know for sure for Travis, and I don't know for all of you guys. But me personally, if this woman did this shit to me and then she went up here and acted like this on the stand, I need everyone to be looking at how dumb this woman is and how much stupid shit she's saying, and everyone to be making fun of her. Like, if I'm Travis, that's exactly what I want to happen. Like, I don't want anybody watching my case being like all sad and somber the whole time. Like, shit, that gets old for a while and I'm up in heaven. Like, fuck Jodi. Fuck Jodi. Especially she doing all this stuff out on the...
Do you remember that we're talking about Travis Alexander? Let's start with that.
Yes, I remember that.
That's why we're here, because you killed him, right?
Yeah. He said fucking.
He said fucking what?
That I'm a fucking idiot.
Correct!
Jodi's story is that she killed Travis in self-defense because he rushed her. The photos? Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to fit into Jodi's story. She said he rushed her and she had to kill him. So this is her demonstrating that.
Of Mr. Alexander immediately before he rushed you, according to you.
As he was
No,
running.
just show me. That's what I'm asking you to do, not talk. Show me. Show me the linebacker pose.
He got down and.
Well, show me the linebacker pose. That's what I'm asking for you to do.
Okay. He went like that and he turned his head and grabbed my waist.
Just like that,
And Naruto
right?
ran
Pretty
into
much.
her.
And he grabbed your waist, right?
I can't say it's just like that, but that's what I
Well,
remember.
no, just I want, without talking, just show me the pose.
He got down like that.
Like that.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and have a seat then. And you... So, that means that if you didn't have the knife in your hand, you needed to go get it from somewhere, right?
I guess. I don't know.
No, there's no guessing here now.
This man is an impenetrable force. Like, I would be very unsure of how to like break his walls down, you know, to get some weak point or something like that. Like, it's like his emotion, like what he's putting out. Like, this man is a one-man fucking show. Yeah.
State of Arizona versus Jodi Arias, verdict, count 1. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn, in the above entitled action, upon our oaths, do find the defendant as to count 1, first-degree murder, guilty. Is this your true verdict, so say you want it all?
Ladies, see, this is the kind of shit that I like to see. I was just saying this before. If I were him, I want everyone to be saying, fuck Jodi. She's guilty. Let's look at the sentencing real quick, because I like to see what the judge has to say after everything. Also, Judge Sherry was looking a little sassy, which is what we love to see.
The court has considered the nature and circumstances of the offense. I have considered the aggravating factor found by the jury. I have identified aggravating and mitigating factors and considered those factors in arriving at a sentence for Ms. Arias. As aggravation, the court finds, as the jury found, the crime was especially cruel.
Mm-hmm.
The offense was committed with at least 2 deadly weapons, a gun and at least 1 knife. The crime involved substantial planning and preparation.
True.
The defendant did not render aid to the victim. The defendant destroyed evidence at the crime scene. The defendant went to great lengths to conceal her involvement in the crime. The court has also considered as an aggravating factor the emotional and financial harm to the victim family members. As mitigation, the court finds the defendant has no prior criminal history.
Oh, we don't care.
The defendant has family and community support. The defendant has mental health issues. The court has also considered the defendant's childhood background, family history, and her expressed remorse.
Dude, I love that the judge says her expressed remorse. Expressed remorse.
The court finds the mitigation presented is not sufficiently substantial to call for leniency and that a natural life sentence is appropriate. It is ordered the defendant shall be incarcerated in the Department of Corrections for the rest of her natural life with no possibility of parole.
I'm a fucking idiot.
Dude, I don't think that Jodi thought she was gonna get life. Like, I think that it was how manipulative she was in her whole trial that they gave her life. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys, I feel like that's, hey, well, here's the deal, guys. That is it for me. I feel it in my bones. I'm gonna take next week off. I said before we might do 2 streams a month, but I'm not ready to let it all go yet. I am gonna take next week off, but we'll record some YouTube videos in the meantime, get some good quality stuff on the channel. I'm gonna take a little vacation. I think I might go to DC, maybe New York, something like that. I need to get out of here. I gotta stop working.